Hello everyone, welcome back. You're watching Empyrion Galactic Survival episode 166. I'm Enigmius, and today, as the title suggests, it's a bit of an intermission. We finished off the Copperhead in the last episode. We released the blueprint, and then I was left with the decision to make in terms of what project I wanted to take on. And I actually had a couple of ideas come rushing at me all within about the same span of time. So I started working on both of them. Actually, I had three ideas, but the third I can't show you just yet. There's a little bit of a sneaky secret there that you'll be able to see when the time is right, just not now. The first idea, what we're looking at here, is based on this idea that I just sort of had where I'm building all these ships and I'm releasing blueprints and people are messing around with them and hopefully having fun and maybe getting some ideas that they can incorporate into their own builds. But wouldn't it be kind of interesting if we were to release a basic chassis for people to use as a starting point to do their own builds? And this is what you're looking at now, is the beginnings of that idea. Realistically, these are almost complete, but they're in a holding pattern, so to speak. I'm just kind of leaving them here for the time being so I can look at them from time to time as I do, and as I get different ideas, refine them a little bit between now and the time they're released as blueprints, just to tweak and adjust and make sure that I'm absolutely happy with them. As you can see, they're small vessels. They have a lot of fixed guns. This is all within the rules of the game. These are strictly observing the stated maximum allowable for each type of gun on the ship, but there's still a lot of guns that are allowed on these small vessels. One of the things I should point out now is that I realized after I sort of built these and let them sit for a half day or so that these are pretty much requiring that you be level 20 or 25 in order to build, because we've got the extra large jet thrusters, we've got the homing missile launchers. I haven't double checked as to what specifically all of these are in terms of level, but the thought occurred to me that maybe it would be an interesting idea to build one of these base chassis for level 5, one for level 10, and then one for what you see here, which is, you know, no holds barred. Just kind of get her done, get everything on there. Either way, the basic idea is that you would build one of these in a factory and then you expand on it however you like. Expand the hull, design it however you want. If you want to move stuff around, there's nothing saying that you can't. But this is also kind of in response to seeing a lot of these really tiny ships that people build, and not to disparage their creativity, not to take away from the fun that they're having, but they kind of like to present it like they're selling the ship. It's fantastic and high performance and destroy your enemies and all this stuff, and it's got like 3 guns and 2 blocks between the enemy and their core in any direction. It's just kind of like, maybe no. It's neat looking from a certain angle, but it's probably not going to live up to your statements in terms of performance. This is an opportunity for people to maybe see the kinds of things that you would want mounted on a ship to be able to call it a high-performance vessel. You don't necessarily, like I say, have to keep all of the guns on here, but one of the interesting things is once you built it from the factory, if you decide that you want to remove any of these guns, now it's in your inventory and it remains as a reminder. This could be on that ship if you were to find a spot for it that you're happy with. So maybe a bit of a learning tool. Maybe all it's going to show people is, you know what, I really hate what those ships look like when they've got all those guns, so I'm happy to not have all those guns if it means I don't have to have it looking that way. That could be part of it. Either way, this is the beginning of the idea. So over the next little while, expect to see maybe the occasional blurb about tweaks we've made, adjustments that we've kind of set up for the purpose of improving on these guys. Maybe the smaller versions for the lower levels, and then when they go out, I'll probably also release some example ships based on this chassis so that people can get an idea of what might be possible, and use it as a learning tool. So similar to what we did with the block playground, suggesting some ways that you can make blocks fit together in order to achieve certain shapes, this is sort of the next step following that. Just something that I've been working on. The other thing that I've been working on that I can tell you about is The Mine Orb Mark II. We made the Mine Orb a while ago. It was just a tiny little mining ship that had the static mining drills on it. It was very, very maneuverable. You could spin it on its head and do whatever you needed to do. And realistically, it was a mining ship. Simple, straightforward. Someone suggested, quite wisely, that we could have got more out of the Copperhead if we had put sort of like a dome of some sort on the underside with at least one drill turret, so that you could hop in the drill turret and mine from under the Copperhead. Absolutely right. In every category, it would have made the ship more functional, it would have been possible, and it would have been neat. The only reason why I didn't put it on, or put on any drills specifically, is because I just didn't really feel like this was going to be a platform that I would ever want to take out mining. It's basically what it comes down to. Just first of all, because it's elevated a little bit too high off the ground, to my way of thinking. And also, it's just got so many other things going on, and we were kind of showcasing the hull weave and doing all that other stuff, that the idea of putting drills anywhere, front, underside, just didn't really appeal to me. That having been said, it's not to take away from the wisdom of this statement that it could have been an improvement if we had added the drill turret. So it came to something like this, which will be the implementation of that sort of idea in a smaller form factor. And I put the Copperhead next to this chassis that I have underway just to give a little bit of scale, so that we can see that as hover vessels go, this is still quite large, but it's only about a quarter the size of the Copperhead. So it's not massive, but it is large. The top section, as you can see, is coming together as a dome. It's convincing circles from the top, and then it's starting to get the angles in place around those circles to present it as a dome sort of thing. I really wanted to get the diagonals right. So if you're kind of looking at the top of the ship, and we've got, you can go 90 degrees in any direction, and it's pretty straightforward how to put that together. When you get to the 45-degree sections, it's a little bit more tricky, and it required a little bit more time and a little bit more thought. But it's coming together. We've got, basically, it's flat, and then 22.5 degrees, and then 45 degrees, and then 22.5, and then it'll probably come down flat again, perpendicular to the ground. And the whole idea is that we are going to have a dome-like structure on the underside of the ship, and there are going to be 4 drill turrets that will be accessible from inside the ship. So there will be some unpressurized areas in the ship where you will be able to go with easy access, so that you can interface directly with these turrets instead of picking them from a list. For me, that's much easier to kind of figure out where I'm going to be shooting with that turret, if I can go directly to the turret and access it from there. And then the ship itself will have the performance necessary so that you can scoot around, get to where you need to go to get to the deposits that you want to mine, and then you'll have ample protection while you're mining from all the turrets on the top, and also the design of the hull around the base, so that you can just do what needs doing and carry on from there. So this is going to be our focus for the next probably 2, 3, maybe 4 episodes, getting this guy done. The next episode is probably going to start off with a time lapse of filling in this top dome and getting it all taken care of, and then we'll have the interior, the underside, paint and texture. Bob's your uncle. We should be in good shape. I'm actually really enthusiastic about this one, the way that it's going and the way it could end up. So that's what I've been working on, and I built a wall to hide the other thing that I'm working on, because again, it's kind of a sneaky secret. And it's good to have surprises every once in a while, although this one's going to take probably a little while, so I've made sure that I can't accidentally give anything away when I'm panning around by building a wall, and I'm going to make Donald Trump pay for it. I had to. I absolutely had to. So the next episode, we're going to be focusing on the Mine Orb Mark II, and if we have anything new to talk about regarding the little starter chassis, then we can kind of do a little bit of a blurb about those. If you want to be notified about the next and future episodes, the easiest way to do that is to subscribe to my channel or follow me on social media. Links for social media are always in the information section below the video. Feel free to leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.